there's no better time than now. So do one thing every day, and before you know it, you're going to be so much closer to where you want to be, and it's going to feel really, really good.
You're listening to Thrive by Design, business, marketing, and lifestyle strategies for your jewelry brand to flourish and thrive. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Thrive by Design podcast, episode number 104. It's Tracy Matthews here today, and I am excited to be your host for the Thrive by Design podcast and to bring you some great holiday goodness. Time to get prepped for the holidays, guys. So I have a really special guest today. I've been speaking with a lot of designers lately who feel a little bit overwhelmed and annoyed that their Etsy sales have kind of taken a dive because the Etsy algorithms are changing. The Etsy platform is changing. And ever since that happened, they haven't been getting as many sales, which I get it. It totally sucks. You know, we have to innovate to continue growing and keep our business alive. But sometimes, you get into a habit and get a pattern down and you think kind of ride on that wave and you hope that it continues. And when it doesn't, I get it kind of sucks. So today I have a really fun, energetic Etsy expert on the show, Amber Harder, and she is going to talk a little bit about how to grow your Etsy shop and make it awesome again even if you've had a little bit of a spike or a dip, I should say, in sales. So we're going to be talking about an Etsy overhaul for the holiday season. And since you're making a bunch of jewelry for the holiday season, you of course need amazing supplies in order to do that. So I wanted to take a word from our sponsor. Our sponsor today is Halstead. HalsteadBead.com is one of our favorite preferred vendors over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy. They're not only a huge sponsor of the Thrive by Design podcast, but they are also just a really great company because they're so dedicated to supporting small business. Now, on previous episodes of the show, you might have heard me talking about the Halstead grant that just closed for application, but they're going to be picking a winner soon. Hopefully it's a Flourish and Thrive winner. But they also have amazing supplies. And this is a really awesome opportunity for you to, find new vendors. We're always hearing about people looking for new places to source materials. They're a family-owned business. They are really committed to supporting small business as well. And they have some really amazing chains, some really amazing findings, and all your favorite supplies that you need to make beautiful jewelry. Anyway, I'd love to share with you a little special offer that they're having. You can head on over to halsteadbead.com, fill your shopping cart up with $100 of supplies or more, and enter the code FTA2017, FTA2017 in all caps, and get $10 off your order. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening to this word about our sponsor. Now back to the episode. Okay, before we dive in to overhauling our Etsy shops for the holidays, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about Amber. Amber was born and raised in Hawaii, and she's been a local island girl, camping on the beach and working on her tan for a very long time. She lives the dream by being a happy homemaker, wife, and mother of two. She wakes up every morning in paradise to be with the people that mean the most to her. And she also mentioned that paradise is kind of expensive. And also raising a family in paradise is pretty expensive. So growing up dirt poor, she knew that she wanted to have a different life for her family. So she created it. And one of the ways is creating this amazing Etsy shop, which I'm going to share with you. So she's started and sold over 8 successful, thriving businesses over the past 15 years. And she's proud to say that today, at the age of 36, she's mortgage free. And that's really amazing, right? I think you would agree. And unfortunately, her obsession for making money just won't leave her alone. So she moved to her next venture, Etsy. Awesome. Can't wait to fill you on all the juicy details. Let's dive into this episode with Amber Harder. I know you're really going to love it. All right. Welcome to the Thrive by Design podcast. I have a really special guest on the show today, Amber Harder of bizmindedmommy.com. So I was really excited to hear about Amber from my friend Kimra. I was spending some time with my friend Kimra, and she was telling me all about how Amber is helping some makers make a killing on Etsy. And so I had to learn more because this week alone, I've talked to a couple of our mastermind designers, and they specifically said that in the past, most of their sales have come from Etsy, and all of a sudden, their sales have been cut in half. So I wanted to get to the bottom of this. So I asked Amber to be on the show. So Amber, thanks so much for being here today.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you.
Yay. Well, I'm excited to talk to you because you have a really interesting story. And we're going to talk we're going to talk a little bit about overhauling your Etsy shop so you're ready for the holiday season, especially for those of you who have some business coming from Etsy or all of your business coming from Etsy, because we want you to kind of beat this Etsy algorithm or whatever's going on. We don't know. But Amber's going to talk us through that today. So Amber, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your journey? Like, I know that you've had several businesses, you've sold a bunch of businesses, and then all of a sudden you kind of fell into Etsy and you're killing it on Etsy. So tell me more.
Okay, great. So first I need to apologize. I'm just getting over this cold. So if I start hacking here, I'm going to try my best not to spread my germs on you.
Okay, perfect.
But yes, first, I'm super stoked to be here. Absolutely in love with Kimra. I've been working with her this past year. I am a mommy and wife of two amazing boys. I'm born and raised here in Hawaii, and I've started and sold over 8 businesses here. I am a mega research and analytical dork. I'm like a junkie. I live for for profits, and I love finding them all over the world. And so that's kind of my strength. And I have been having so much fun figuring things out. And a funny thing is when I stumbled upon Etsy, it intrigues me. First of all, I love shopping on Etsy because of all the amazing handmade goods and all the amazing things that people create. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's just so amazing. And so I was like, how can I get in on this? What can I do? And so I decided to just jump on there on Etsy and see what I could do. And it was an epic fail. And as a mom,
epic fail. I just want to reiterate that because you told me this in your story yesterday.
Yes, epic fail. And the thing about me is I love a great challenge. And so it was almost as if it called to me like, hey, you need to figure this out. And so I was like, I'm going to do this. And being a mom, you know, the one thing I always teach my boys is to never give up. And I need to live by example. And so I was like, I'm going to do this. And I swear, I put my head down. I read every blog. I watched every YouTube. I went on Etsy forums. I went crazy. My husband always thinks I'm a crazy, obsessed lady. And I was. And so I figured it out, found a niche, tested out, experimented, and found this amazing little niche. And I just tried it out. I didn't even have the product in hand. And I took a picture, put it on my shop, went to sleep, woke up, I was sold out and had $500 in sales when I woke up in the morning. And I was like, yes! And it was just so freaking awesome. In the last year, I've been experimenting more, making it solid. I've been helping other moms do the same. And I feel amazing because the system and the program that I created actually works. So I feel really, really good about that. So I'm excited to be here today and share everything that I know and just help everyone out. I know Etsy can be extremely frustrating and very complicated if you don't speak the language. So I am here happily to share with you how to speak some Etsy.
So I'm really excited for this because I am no Etsy expert. I come from more of a traditional jewelry background where, you know, regular e-commerce is sort of like in the mix, not necessarily Etsy. And I remember when Etsy actually first started, I was still in San Francisco years ago, like probably 15 years ago. And one of the girls who was working for me, who's now a really well-known jewelry designer, Vanessa Gade, had put her jewelry up for the first time on this little thing called Etsy, which was super small at the time. So it's changed so much since then because Etsy used to be a place where people went to go find artisan handcrafted goods. And now it's like crazy competition and people are complaining about their algorithms. So we want to get people over that hump and change that experience for them so that they can get their Etsy sales up and start building their online presence. So what we do know is that holiday is coming up. It's right around the corner. And for jewelry designers in particular, it's a really, really busy season. So what are some things that the designers and makers who are on Etsy in our community can do right now to improve their holiday sales down the road?
Okay, so I am a huge fan of preparing. I have done the fly by the seat of my pants thing for a short time and it never seems to work. So I'm going to share with you guys some super cool things that you could start doing now. And I know you're probably thinking like, this is a way before the holidays, but you can never be too prepared for the holidays. So my very first little trick here that I personally do every single day is I keep a journal handy. And if you don't have a journal, you can use recycled paper. You can go to your local craft store or hobby store and just pick up a really cheapy journal. I just have a composition book. And what I use it for is throughout the day, when I'm doing my business, I keep track of anything that I don't like. If anything gives me anxiety, if a customer complains about something, if a system doesn't work, if I can never find this one pen that I need, I keep track. So, what I would like you to do is write down in this journal everything that you notice in your daily operations that you would like to change. This is the key to making your business the most efficient possible and the most enjoyable. I mean, we start businesses for freedom and happiness, and then sometimes we get locked into them and we think that we're stuck in this box. Like we're supposed to do it this way because this is how I started. And that's so not true. You have the power and ability to adjust and change anything you don't like about your business. And you know, when it comes to holidays, you are going to be busy. So find all your little bugs now. Like I just said, there's this one black Sharpie that I use every single day and I can never find it. I never know where I put it down. And
oh my gosh, I love it.
Use it all the time. And so I put it in my journal. And on Fridays, I like to look back and be like, okay, seriously, I had some anxiety this week. How can I change it? And so I ended up actually buying a rope and taping it to my Sharpie, and I hang it from the top of my desk. And so I always know where
amazing.
Yeah. And I know
your Sharpie's going to dry out if you don't put it back on that pen cap.
And I know it sounds silly, but that one step alone has made my job so much more enjoyable because I go crazy trying to find that Sharpie every single day.
Oh my God.
And so putting that on a rubber band and a rope right there where I always see it and buying 6 of them and putting them in a drawer was like my life-saving tip for the last month. And I was like, what took me so long to do this?
I love it.
And so I would encourage everyone, start a journal because businesses should be about you and about your designs and creations. And sometimes you can get caught up in all the things that you don't like to do, but you can improve all of them and you can change them. So I would encourage everyone, think out of the box, get creative and think of solutions. It doesn't have to be big. Solutions to solve all the headaches that you don't like about your business. Next, I would highly encourage you to go through your inventory. And I know everyone's like, boo. No, who really likes to go through what they have and write it down? And everyone thinks they need a complicated system. No, keep it simple. If you have a note card, write it on a note card. If you have a foam board, write it on a foam board, put it on your wall. If you have recycled paper, keep it simple. And I would encourage everyone to just go through what they have and start a little inventory system. Look at your materials. Do you have jewelry already made? Do you have all the tools? Where do you get these things? How much do they cost? These are the things that you always want to know for your business to ensure that you have what you need and you can prepare because everything costs money. If you need more beads, what bead store do you go to? Do you order them online? Does it take 2 weeks to reach you? You do not want to be in your super busy holiday season with 40 orders and you run out of what you need. So let's prepare now. It's super simple. And if this feels extremely overwhelming for you, which I am not an inventory person, and I literally call in my husband to help me because it almost brings me to tears having to go through what I have, invite a friend. Get some cocktails and sit down with a girlfriend and make it a party. I mean, this does not have to be work, people. This could be absolutely fun. And sometimes
we have a couple of hacks for jewelry designers too.
I love it.
Is that, do it like plan out some time where you spend time like counting everything once and then start batching things into numbered bags. And once those bags are broken, those are the pieces you have to recount. And so this is like, that's like a crazy inventory hack that we talk about here. And when I used to keep inventory for my wholesale business, we would have everything filed in drawers, and we would have a running sticky note on top of the bag. I mean, we kept all our inventory tracked in a spreadsheet, but there are really simple ways, like you're saying, to keep track of the inventory.
Oh, yes. And I'm a sticky tab lover. Oh, boy. I recently, being in Hawaii, we have very limited craft stores. So I recently got to go to New York, and I found life-size sticky tabs and totally shoved them into my luggage and brought them home.
Oh, the big size ones, the pop-in ones?
Yes, they are so much fun. I literally, if you could see me right now, you would see the probably 42 sticky tabs that I have around my office.
Oh my gosh, amazing. I love
it. So yes, checking your inventory can be extremely overwhelming, but if you just start picking at it now, I promise it's going to feel really good in the holiday season.
Yep.
Okay, my next tip is create a content calendar. So this funny thing happens in the holidays. Time actually moves 10 times faster.
Yeah.
And so if you don't prepare now, you are going to feel like time is slipping away. And so I would highly encourage you to get a piece of paper again, or note card, or sticky tab, or whatever you use, and plan out October, November, and December. Remember the biggest shopping days of the year. We have Black Friday and Cyber Monday and Small Business Saturday. These are 3 huge opportunities for you to make all your money back that you spent at Michael's. So now is the time to prepare. Is there a collaboration? Is there a giveaway? Is there somebody that you could team up with? Could you offer gift wrapping or special packaging? 2 for 1, keep one for yourself, give one to a girlfriend. And I'm sure you guys have tons of amazing tips for jewelry people. But I think planning is the best thing. You know what entices you to buy something. So in the next coming months, start keeping track of what lures you into a sale. Is it a freebie? Is it no shipping? So keep track of these things, write it in your journal and do it. Take that action. For Etsy, if you have your Etsy shop for the holidays, one thing you could start doing now, and you could always do, is keep track and write down any keywords that you think pertain to your shop. Now, if you're already on Etsy, you know about keywords and you know where they go. They go in your titles and your tags. Now, the holiday brings in new shoppers specifically for the holiday. And so you want to be prepared because you're going to need new keywords. And so what you want to start doing now is writing a list of all these keywords. You can even get into your back end and start making your listings. You can save them as a draft and keep them inactive until you want to actually start using them and get them out into the marketplace. So some great keywords for the holidays would be, for example, gift for her, gift for him, holiday gift, great gift idea, stocking stuffer, girlfriend gift idea, co-worker gift. These are the leading words that you're going to put in your titles and tags.
Co-worker gift?
Co-worker.
Oh, co-worker. I was like, is co-worker like a common? Yeah, like a common term. That is hilarious. I totally misheard that.
Love it. I know it's a huge industry. People love to buy gifts for the people that they work with.
Yeah.
I had no idea until this past holiday season, and I was doing my keyword stocking. And I was like, whoa, there is a huge industry alone in just employee gifts. And so keeping track of all these really juicy nuggets, they're going to help your listings get to the top and be seen and get put in front of potential buyers.
Okay, awesome. That's amazing. That's a great idea. Start keeping track now. All right. So like I mentioned before, I've been talking to a couple designers this week who used to have like crazy businesses on Etsy. And now all of a sudden something changed. And for the past 6 months, they haven't been getting their Etsy sales have been down. So as you know, Etsy is like really saturated for jewelry. But what are some of the ways that jewelry designers and makers can really stand out on Etsy beyond keywords, obviously?
Okay. So this is like a huge topic. So I'm gonna try and do the best that I can here to explain it in a few minutes. So bear with me. First of all, I totally agree that the jewelry market is absolutely saturated on Etsy. Now, this does not mean that you can't make sales. The small niche that I'm in is extremely oversaturated. I probably have, I would say, 100 competitors selling the same type of product. But it doesn't mean that you can't dominate and still make consistent sales. So there are three main components to winning sales. First is being found in the search engines. Second is catching the potential buyer's eye. And third is winning them over. So first, you need to get in front of your potential buyer. You need to understand and implement the basic SEO or keywords in every listing in your shop. This would include updating and refreshing all of your titles and tags and possibly adding more listings to be found in new markets and different categories. Now, once you're in front of your potential buyer, meaning that your keywords are all in place and you're showing up in front of them in the searches, you're on page one. Now you need to catch their eye, right? When they put in a search, let's say they're looking for boho dangle earrings. Mm-hmm. Your keywords are in place. Boom, you show up in searches. Now the customer is looking at little 2-inch by 2-inch squares of pictures, and they all look the same. This is where you, as a shop owner, have the opportunity and the real estate. You have one main photo on your listing, and this is your opportunity to stand out. That's exactly what you need to do. You need to stand out. Please do not take the same pictures like everybody else. Please don't use the same background like everybody else. This is the only opportunity. You have a couple of seconds to bring that customer's eye to your picture and have them click on it. And this is what I teach. This is my strong point. And a lot of people, I think a lot of creative makers love to have a beautiful feel and a wonderful brand. And this is amazing. And I totally agree. But sometimes you need to play the Etsy game in order to win the sale. And this is where my strategies come in. I would encourage you to take your wonderful picture and put it into a program like Canva and add something that no other shop has, a pop of color. Maybe you add a beautiful box with a beautiful star with your brand colors, and you write some words, handmade with love, custom order, personalized just for you. Something that catches their eye. Like my brand colors are hot pink.
I love it.
And that totally draws everybody's eye right to my shop. So I would encourage you to get in there and add something that isn't there. Look different. You need to look different. Everyone looks at their competition and tries to blend in. No, we need to stand out.
Stand
out in that sea of competition. It's tough, but you can do it. You know, you might need to get a little creative, but there is a way. So we're coming up in searches. We catch their eye. They click on our picture. Now, what does that mean? Now we need to win them over with our description. We need to wow them with our reviews. If you don't have any reviews yet, don't worry. Write in your description all the main elements that they need to know. Why do they need this product? Include all the pertinent information. Let them know about shipping and win them over. So, what does this mean? What you could do today to start improving your Etsy shop is go and take a look at your main competitors in the market. And I know sometimes a lot of people tell me, Amber, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable going onto their shops. I feel like I'm stealing. I feel like I'm invading. This is not my ethics. And if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, I totally understand. But please just hear me out. Hear me out why I do this and how I do it, and see if maybe it could make a little more sense for you. What I encourage everybody to do, and a very great business practice, which everybody does in corporate world down to small businesses, so you always want to know your main competitors. This is very important. Go check them out. What they're doing is working. I'm not saying to go in there and take their ideas. Never, ever would you take their ideas. Never would you take their designs, but just see what's working. Read their reviews, look at their titles and tags, read their description. These are the main shops that are taking all the sales. They're making all the money. What we can do is we can learn from them. These shops can be our mentor. We can go check them out and see what's working. Look at their social media. What are they doing? We can take their strategies and implement them into our shops. We're not going to steal their designs, but we're going to use them as mentors. We're going to learn from them. And that is something that I have done to take my little baby, brand new kid on the block shop from crickets all the way to where I have surpassed my main competition.
That's awesome. I love it. And you said that you're shipping like how many orders a day?
I ship. Well, right now it is summertime and I'm in the wedding industry, so it's super busy. Yesterday I shipped out 96 orders.
That's awesome.
Yes. So it was a little crazy, but it's absolutely fun. I hand pack every order. It's just me. I don't have any employees. So it's great though. Like I said, I always write in my journal, so I keep my systems efficient. Yesterday it took me less than 3 hours to run my business yesterday. And it was great because it's summertime. So after that, I took the kids to the beach. We got a shave ice and we did a bonfire and it was great.
Oh my God, I love it. That's so great. All right, cool. So I mentioned this before. A couple of designers are talking about their sales kind of taking a dip. How can we sort of reinvigorate and like spike, like rejuvenate? I know like you talked about a lot of things here about researching your competition and maybe swapping out your images and updating your SEO and making sure that you're covered on all types of SEO where things might be searching. But I'm curious, is there anything else that you think would be helpful?
Yes. So first of all, I think the very main thing that keeps me going every single day is the proper mindset. Etsy is so frustrating daily. Recently, they just got in a new CEO. Then they just changed all of their SEO. And then they just changed all of their backends. So your entire shop, your backend as a seller is completely different. Everything is in a new location now. Etsy is all about adapting and changing to the trends and times. And if you're not willing to bend and flex with Etsy, it's going to be a very difficult marketplace for you. I love challenges. So I really love being on the platform, but not everyone enjoys it. A lot of people like to learn a system and just keep going with it as a routine. But Etsy is a place that will constantly change to meet the market. And so what that means for you is to constantly have that solution-minded thinking. Because guess what? Etsy will change things right under your butt when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hate them for it. And they spend hours bashing them instead of trying to learn the new system. And I would encourage everyone to stay solution-minded. Stay active. How can you learn? How can you grow in Etsy? And I think with that mindset, it doesn't seem so difficult. But now that we are in this changing world of Etsy, let's get a couple of tips on how you can help your shop right now and hopefully get those spikes and get you some sales again. Now, one of the major changes that Etsy has just done is they have made the location of your shop count. So I know a lot of international brands, including jewelry, have dropped off the searches because what Etsy has done is they are looking for shops that are near the buyer. So like, let's say I'm in Hawaii.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. And so they're trying to make it a little more location specific. And so they know my location. I'm in Hawaii. All the California, Oregon, Washington shops will get priority over New York, Ireland, and France. And so what that means for a lot of shops is that they're not being found anymore. They're not being seen anymore.
Wow.
So a huge thing for Etsy sellers is that Etsy's traffic will always fluctuate like a roller coaster. So what you need to do is you need to have your own community. So I would encourage everyone to create a community, get on social media. My favorite is Pinterest. I'm absolutely obsessed with Pinterest. And I know jewelry does really well on Pinterest, especially when you style it right with a great outfit. You know, your picture can go viral. So I would encourage everyone that sells on Etsy to have that backup plan, have your own social media following. And if you haven't started, then just dabble in it. Find a platform that works for you and see if there's, one that really excites you that you love using and start it. I'm pretty sure every single one of them are free. Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Snapchat, they're all absolutely free. So I would definitely encourage everyone to start some kind of community following your brand. And then speaking of branding, when was the last time you updated your brand? That is a huge deal. Let's get back into your shop, breathe some life into it. Maybe think about rebranding. Could you refresh your colors, your fonts, your pictures? Maybe you're a new person since you opened up your Etsy shop back in 2001.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to refresh it and bring it back to life. And Tracy, if I'm not mistaken, that's exactly what you folks do.
We do branding?
Yes.
Well, we teach business skills, but sort of. I mean, we teach you how to, create a holistic brand from start to finish. We don't do like the...
Perfect.
Yeah.
So yes.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's a ton of resources that
yes, we have tons of resources that will help you guys. I was like, what? No, I'm not a graphic designer, but
I'm sure
I can totally help you with,
perfect
branding concepts from start to finish. You caught me off guard there. I was like, what?
Okay, wonderful. So yes, definitely. I'm sure there's a ton of resources to help.
So many resources.
Yeah.
And,
get some inspiration and maybe how to take new pictures, style things. And
you know what I always recommend for people to get inspiration for styling and lookbooks and that sort of thing is to, like you were talking about Pinterest earlier, is to create a Pinterest board and think of your dream client. Like, who do you want shopping at your store? I mean, this goes for any type of designer, whether you're selling e-commerce or wholesale or whatever. You need to really identify with who the end consumer is going to be, and then start pinning things that sort of remind you of that person. And maybe it's like based on you in a certain sense. And then your photography can be informed by those pictures in the sense, like, what's the lifestyle? What's the vibe? I think like a really good example of this is I was working with one of our mastermind designers a couple of weeks ago, and she has a friend who's a professional dancer. And this designer has really amazing jewelry. But it's like definitely like more of like a beachy boho casual vibe. She's like selling engagement rings, but they're more like a casual style engagement ring. It's not like super fancy or anything. But she had all this photography done with this really fancy dancer wearing sparkly outfits and all this stuff. And so I asked her, I'm like, who's your ideal customer? And she said, oh, it's like a California girl on the beach. I'm like, what's up with Dancing with the Stars on your website? Because, I mean, it's like, it's a total different disconnect. So make sure that, the imagery that you're presenting is in alignment with who your end consumer is, because they need to, when they land on your site, they need to feel like it's for them. And I think that's the most important thing that you need to remember. So whether it be your website or your Etsy shop, it's the same thing. So, I mean, I'm not an Etsy pro, that's why I have you on here. But I think you have an opportunity to use like a couple of different pictures in the slider or whatever on Etsy, right?
Oh, yes. And you have a main header and you have your logo icon, and every single listing picture can have your colors and your fonts. So I think keeping that cohesive brand and not confusing your customers is highly important, so that once they arrive at your shop or see your items, they feel what you want them to feel. So yes,
exactly.
Being a cohesive brand is huge. And it's funny because my next point is getting onto Etsy and actually shopping on it. I love to do this. I'm so grateful for all the sales that I make. I go onto Etsy and I try and buy everything that I need from there to try and recycle and return the favor. But this is a huge point. I love to get on there and shop and get the customer experience. You learn so many things. When I go into other people's shops, like, I mean, you can't help but have thoughts in your head. And I don't mean to judge, but I'm like, oh my God, this is so confusing. This is not working. I don't know where to go. And it's so cool to pretend to be a customer and a buyer because it improves your own shop. Like you can see when you start shopping on Etsy, other people's shops and what's going wrong. And you're like, oh my God, I'm confused. And what is their shipping time? And I don't get what this is. I don't know what size it is. And so that's one of my main tips that I do all the time. I get onto Etsy and I shop and I realize what a customer is seeing and where are the opportunities for my shop to improve. So get on there. I mean, you don't have to buy anything. My shopping cart's full. I think I have 142 items in my shopping cart right now. I try to tag in my husband, like hint, hint. I wish they would find a way that you could
like
share your cart with your friends.
Wish list.
Yes, that would be so fun. Oh, shoot. It'd be perfect for my kids. You know, they always like buy me the worst gifts ever. And they're like, hey, Mom, where's that necklace that I bought you? And I'm like, oh my God, I have to wear it.
Why are you wearing it, Mom? Oh
yes,
gosh,
where's that necklace? You're like, oh my God, honey, I didn't want it to break. And my last piece of advice in this crazy changing Etsy world is to do something. Take action every single day on your Etsy shop, even if it's just a minute.
Yep.
I would encourage you to renew a listing. Post a picture on your social media, post it, in Facebook groups, tell a friend. There is one thing that you can do every single day to help grow your Etsy shop. And there's no better time than now. So
I love it.
Do one thing every day. And before you know it, you're going to be so much closer to where you want to be. And it's going to feel really, really good.
So if you had to pick your top 5 things that people could do right now or on a daily basis, what would those things be?
I would say competition stocking is my number one thing. Next is going to be your keywords. So we got competition stocking, keywords, pictures. Holy moly. Pictures speak to your buyers. There's no way that they could talk to you or even see your reviews and everything else. All they see are your pictures. Make sure they're on point. I take all my own pictures with my iPhone. There are no excuses here, ladies. Practice. Keep practicing until you get it right. It doesn't have to be expensive. Okay, so we got competition stocking, keywords, pictures. After that, I'm going to have to say building an outside community through a social media is going to be another huge, huge thing to do. Like I said, I use Pinterest with Board Booster and it does amazing things.
Yeah.
And lastly, it's the mindset and taking action. You need to just do it, and you need to get your mind prepped every morning for all the challenges that'll come and just say, F it. I'm going to do this and I'm going to get it done.
I love it. Take action now. That's like my thing. I'm like,
yeah,
you have to have a positive mindset, but if you're not taking action, nothing's going to happen. So
absolutely.
Amazing. Amber, this was so fun to have you. I just love your energy. You're so great. And I love some of the new things that I heard today and some of the interesting ideas about keywords and competition stocking and all that stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the proper political
well, we'll just
terms.
coin it. Yeah, perfect. There you go. Competition stocking. All right, perfect. So thanks so much for being here. So where can everyone find you?
So I'm just starting out, everyone. So bear with me and all of my I just started my Facebook page and my website. So you can find me at bizmindedmommy.com. And I'm super excited to finally be reaching out. It's a really scary thing to throw yourself out there. And so I finally got my own mindset going.
Good.
And got enough confidence to be like, hey, I can't help anyone sitting here in my office. And so here I am throwing myself out there, being totally vulnerable and trying to help. My goal is to help 1,000 moms. I want to help 1,000 moms make money on Etsy and find some new confidence and just feel really good about being a stay-at-home mom and being able to make ends meet.
I love that.
Check me out online. You can come to my Facebook business page. I do some great tips and tricks and some cool little videos, and I have a lot of fun. So
you're amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. I'll have all those links in the show notes, so make sure that you check it out. Amber, thanks so much for being here.
I am so happy. This is actually my first podcast, so
Yay!
I am going to go celebrate. Yes.
Yay! We inaugurated you. It's a podcasting world. I love it.
Thank you so much.
This is my 104th recording, I think, or 105th, something like that.
Oh my God, you're a pro.
I don't know about that, but
thank you so much.
Thank you, hon. Wasn't that awesome? Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to the show. I just loved having Amber on. She's awesome. I have all the links that she spoke about over on the show notes. So you can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/episode 104. That's flourishthriveacademy.com/episode 104. You can check out Amber over at bizmindedmommy.com. And you can check out our sponsor, Halstead, over at halsteadbead.com. I'll also have links on the show notes for Halstead. And you can grab the discount code FTA2017 to get $10 off your first $100 order. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening today. Until next time, this is Tracy Matthews signing off.